we started the concept of our SQL script. Yeah, SQL script is nothing but a advanced version of your OpenSQL, and using this, we can simply perform all the complex tasks that is not possible via SQL, like loop, if statement, any complex logic. It is just like a programming language. Here we saw that every SQL script code always ends with semicolon, right? And if we are using any variable, then we are going to put the colon before the variable, right? And two containers are there where we can store the SQL script code. First one is our anonymous block. Second one is our stored procedure, right? So let's start the implementation. Yeah. But before that, declaration we need to understand. Declare and data objects, how we are going to do that. So data objects in SQL script. How does the declaration and all those things happens? Yeah. So in SQL script, we can declare the variables using the declare keyword. Using the declare keyword like this way, we can simply go for declare keyword, variable name, and variable type. Yeah. And here SAP has also given lots of variable types like variable types, numeric. Inside the numeric, you have tiny integer. Again, SQL script is not, we are not required to learn it in very deep. We just need to understand some basic funda so that we can relate it with our ABAP programming, because this is a complete different native development. Double, decimal. After the numeric, we have characters. So you can give here varchar and varchar and varchar. Alphanumeric. And for date also, they have given some type, timestamp, which consists of date and time. Date is separately also there. So lots of things they have given which you can use for the creation, right? So one by one, let's start implementing the creation of procedure. Very first, creating a stored procedure or creating a procedure for sum of two numbers. Very simple. A procedure which is going to take input and it will return the output. The benefit of using procedure is it will be directly saved inside our HANA database. So let's see, I will open my HANA Studio. And let's open the HANA box so that we can get the access of our SQL console. There is my catalog. I will select it and I'm going to open the console. Yeah, we are in our SQL console. So I will create a procedure. My very first procedure, create procedure. And here I'm giving sum of two underscore number. And if you want, we can give an input here. So let's say input. I am taking one integer here. So X integer. Input Y integer. And I will also return one output. So output Z integer. That is my create procedure. Then we will start. So as begin and then end. In between, you can write this is the block, this is the container. Here we can write SQL script code, write the SQL script code. Yeah. So very first one, I will declare three variable, declaring three variables. First, declare a integer, declare b integer, and then I will use declare c integer. Yeah. A, I am going to assign the value of x which we are receiving from user. So we can just give here x. You see. B, I will assign, we are going to give here y. And then I'm going to assign my C value also. So not C, C will be the calculation. So perform the sum. That is my commented line. So C, I can give C equal to A plus B. That is what I'm looking for. And finally, my output is Z. So Z is equal to C. Z is equal to C. Right? That is going to be my output. A normal SQL script sum of two number. Let's see it. I will execute. It is saying there is some problem. The problem is there is a duplicate procedure name here. So we need to give a different name because this is already there in the system. So some integer. Now let's execute it. Yeah, it is there. My procedure has been created. Here you see my procedure has been created. So now I can simply check it. I will copy and I am going to open the catalog. I am using the default schema. Default schema is the user ID. So here we can, if we search, I will refresh it. I will go inside it. There is my procedure box. I will right click and I will go for filter and I will paste the name of this that I have created. Click on OK. There. Here I have got my procedure generated. Double click. See it. Is it getting saved inside the database? Yes or no? Is it getting
Yes.
saved? Unlike the anonymous block, here it is getting saved in the procedure folder. So it is ready to be used. Now if I want, I can simply call it. Now if I want, I can simply call it. So we will use this procedure. Let me open another console and show you. I will simply go for call procedure. Or better, what is the name of the procedure? Sums integer. And how many parameters we have given? 3 parameter. So 3 parameter. Instead of that, you are going to pass the question mark, question mark, question mark. Now you can simply click on execute button. There you see it is asking for parameter. So I can simply give here 50 and 30. These are the two input parameter. 50 plus 30 will be 80. So I'll click on execute and you see you have the output. There is my reusable SQL script code, which is getting stored inside the HANA database, right? Now, suppose I want to perform any change here. I want to perform any change. By mistake, we have created a procedure and we want to perform any change here. Suppose I want to also add here 100, right? Now I will click on right click and try to execute this procedure. There again, it is saying cannot use duplicate name because here we are using again the create procedure. This procedure was already created, but I am trying to recreate it, right? So create will never work. We will have to change it. So if you want to change the procedure because of any kind of situation, you are going to use the keyword alter. You are going to use the keyword alter. Alter keyword is used to change the procedure. So here I will write alter keyword is used to change the procedure. Now if you check, execute, there we see statement got successfully executed. So now along with the two input sum, it will also add the value 100. Check it. I will re-execute this, right click and execute. I'll give here 50, again 50, 30. It should return me 180 now. So I'll check. You see 180. This is the change procedure. Yeah. You can perform any sort of operation here. Let me just create another procedure for you. So I'll open one more console. And here, let's say I want to perform sum of, or I want to calculate even and odd. So create procedure even odd number. Here input I will take one integer and output I will return a result. So result will be a varchar up to length 10. See here inside the string, inside the character, we have these three types. You can use any one based on the requirement. So I'm using here variable character varchar as begin and then end. Now in between, we can just go for checking. So if we are going for even or odd, generally we divide it by 2 and we see if the remainder is 0, then it is even, right? So here modulus function they have given, you can directly implement modulus. And if the modulus x comma 2 is equal to 0, then it simply means that this guy result is equal to even, or else result is equal to odd. And here we can go for and if. There you see a new if statement we can write, which is not possible with a normal SQL. But here using SQLScript, we can go for anything. Now we activate it. It is saying create procedure could not execute. Identifier must be declared. Line 7, column 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. Here a string we are directly passing. It should be in single quotes. So single quotes. Odd. Yeah. Now let's try. Again, it is saying line 7, column 5. If modulus of x comma 2 is equal to 0, output result. Wait a second. Oh, there is the problem. Here we have given result. So result. Now check. Yeah. A procedure got generated. So once this guy is ready, we can simply copy and we can go and test it. So I will test this SQL. Call this procedure name. Only one input parameter is there. So only one. Yeah. How many parameter we have given for this? Okay. 2 is there. All right. 2. Execute it. I will pass a odd number. There you see odd number is there. I will pass an even number. So let me just re-execute 20. We are getting even. Correct? Right? Yes or no? So this is SQL script is highly useful for native HANA development. So a very note point I'm going to write for all of you. This SQL script is highly used in the native HANA development. And similar to any programming language, we can perform all the actions that we normally do with any other programming language. With any other programming language, like implementing all the data structures and kind of thing. Everything you can do with this also. So the question is, another benefit here, whatever SQL script code we are writing, a procedure is getting generated and is getting stored in HANA permanently. Right? So here comes the main question. For writing this SQL script code or for creating this procedure, we must need the access of HANA database. So how we are going to utilize this powerful tool, procedural capability of HANA from the ABAP side. That is my question. How we are going to utilize this procedural capability of HANA from the ABAP side? Are you getting my point? Everyone, are you getting? Both of you, is it okay? Both of you, is it okay? Yes. So how we are going to utilize this procedural capability of HANA from the ABAP side, right? There was a problem. That's where our AMDP came into picture. See, if you don't have, let's say, if you don't have the access of HANA DB, how you will write the SQL script code? If you don't have the access of HANA DB, same thing HANA DB or HANA box, how you will create procedures? If you don't have the access of HANA DB or HANA box, how you will utilize the native HANA development? How you are going to do that? That's where our AMDP comes into picture. If you recall, I already told you when we are going to install the ADT note point before we move forward. So when we install the ADT and HANA tools, two things are there. ADT will help you the access of so that you can create CDS views, AMDPs, SAP GUI, etc. Everything you will have the access of it. But HANA tools, this gives the access of HANA box. And it depends from people to, or it depends from company to company, whether you will have this access or not. Whether you will have this access or not. Okay. Then comes our AMDP. What does AMDP says? So AMDP stands for ABAP Database Connectivity. ABAP Database Connectivity. And AMDP is nothing but AMDP is a static method of a global class, that is AC24, that we create. Static method, and this method allows us to write the SQL script code inside it. This method allows us to write the SQL script code inside it. Second thing, when we call this AMDP method for the first time, a procedure will get created in HANA in the corresponding schema, in the corresponding ABAP schema. What will happen? A procedure will gets created and will allow you to write the SQL script code inside it. So is this AMDP a solution for all these problems? Huh? Is this AMDP a solution for all these problems or not? Soumya, correct? So next thing is, an AMDP is a top-down approach. Belongs from code, that is code to data paradigm. We are going to push down our logic directly to HANA layer because of this procedure, and was introduced after ABAP 7.4 version. After ABAP 7.4 version. So if we have the access of using this AMDP, we do not need the HANA layer access. If we don't have, then no problem. All the changes can be done directly from the ABAP applications layer. Yeah. Next thing, AMDP can only be created and maintained from the Eclipse tool. You can't create it from your SAP GUI. So Eclipse tool. Another note point, if you are not working on HANA database, then you cannot create AMDP. You cannot create AMDP. Yes. Right. So very important interview question is this one. If you are not working on HANA database, AMDP can't be created. AMDP is only for ABAP Managed Database Procedure. So it is a mandatory stuff that you must work on HANA database. The basic idea of AMDP is to manage the SAP HANA procedures and their life cycle directly from the ABAP application layer or from the ABAP server. Also, to allow the native consumption of SAP HANA procedures, consumption of SAP HANA features from within the ABAP layer. Yeah. So to allow this particular feature, the SAP HANA database procedure language, which is SQLScript, has been integrated into the ABAP stack so that we can write all this logic directly from our ABAP server. My SQLScript is my database procedural language. Yeah. So you can also check the system whether your system is greater than 7.4 version or not. Let me just show you a login to SAP GUI, and I'll go for system and status. Here you have the product version. You can check. There is my basis component. Everything is 7.58 here. So we can use it. 7.4 greater than 7.4 is needed. But this we are working on 7.5, so we can use it. So AMDP is a static method of a global class, right? So how it is going to be created? An AMDP class. How it is going to be created? Yeah, let's find it out here. An AMDP must implement an interface. This is mandatory. And the name of this interface is if AMDP marker HDB. If AMDP marker HDB. A mandatory step that is there. This AMDP class, an AMDP class, can have both AMDP methods and non-AMDP methods. Can have both AMDP methods and non-AMDP methods. What is a non-AMDP method here? So generally the normal methods which we create are called non-AMDP methods, And if I'm talking about AMDP methods, so AMDP methods contains some declaration. It is mandatory. Some declarations. And let me just give you the syntax for it. So like this way, method name by database procedure, by database procedure. For database type, so in our case, it will be for HDB. Language will be SQL script. So language SQL script. Yeah. And then if you are performing read, then options read only. And then if you are using any table, like so table name, you can use Mara, MAKT, VBAK, VBAP kind of thing. If you are using these tables, then AND method. That is the syntax. In between, you can write here, write the SQL script code. SQL script code. This normal method is just like a normal method which we have created in our object-oriented programming. So there we had method, method name, and AND method. Method name, and AND method. Right. So let's start the implementation. I will go for Eclipse. I will go for Eclipse. Yeah. Open the project. There is my package. I will right click and let's create a class here directly. New ABAP class. Very simple class. First class we will create, then we will go for AMDP. So first Eclipse class. First Eclipse based class. Based class. Next. There is my request. Yeah. See, this is my class definition. There is my class implementation. It is just like your global class that you create from SE24. You see here, public, so we can create its object outside also. Yeah, this is already public in nature. Okay. So this is my global class here. So very first thing we are required to do is we are required to implement here a interface. So I will call this interface interfaces, and the name of this interface is if AMDP marker HDB. There is my interface name. You can define your methods. You can simply define your methods here. So a normal method, I will define class method. Let's say I'm naming this normal method. Another benefit of Eclipse is automatically, if there is no implementation of this method, it will give you an error here, implementation missing. You can also click on it and it will help you if you want to add it. You see, it is asking add implementation for normal method. Automatically see it is giving you method, normal method, and AND method. This is another benefit of it. I'll simply go for write statement. Hello, I am a normal method. I will activate and let's go for right click, run as ABAP application. There you have your normal method. You execute. There is my output. Hello, I am normal method. We can call it normally inside any ABAP program and it will work there, right? Now I want to declare a static method. Let's see that. AMDP method. Display sum of two numbers. Another important thing here, all the parameters of the AMDP method must be passed by value. Must be passed by value. It is mandatory stuff. So I want to take two input here. So importing p numon. Here we need to make it pass by value. So value keyword p numon type integer. There my value keyword p num2 type integer. I will have exporting parameter here. So there is my importing, then exporting. It will also be a value. So value, I will name it output type integer. So this is my method declaration. Now I will have a method implementation here. So my method display sum and method. This is a normal method, right? Now if you want to make it a AMDP method, then you will have to use the syntax that we have written here. Same syntax. By database procedure. So by database procedure for HDB language SQLScript, and here no CRUD operation, only read operation is going to be there. So options read only. And if you are using any table, so you can go for using keyword. But in this case, I'm not using any table. So I will not go for anything. Now check the problem here, what it is saying. The body of a AMDP method cannot be empty. Can you see this? There is my AMDP method. Here we can write the SQLScript code. So here from ABAP layer, we can write the SQLScript code. SQLScript code. As the same way as we have written on the HANA layer also. So if you want, you can have here a declare keyword. There, these are the two inputs we are taking. So let's say X integer, declare Y integer, declare Z integer. X I am going to assign the p num1. So X equal to my p num1, Y my equal to p num2, and there is my Z. So Z will be equal to the sum of these two things, X plus Y. Yeah. And my output I will assign output is equal to my Z. Is this a SQLScript code or not? Is this a SQLScript
Yes.
code or not? Right. So if I activate it, object got activated. Let's create a ABAP program. Other ABAP repository. Sorry, ABAP program for AMDP. So here now we can directly call it, or we can take input parameters p underscore, or better let's just call the method directly. We can take the parameter also. There is my class name and the method name is display sum. All right. So class name display sum. So if we want to pass any input here, let's say 50, 40, it will return me the output. So control 7 and comment. I will receive the output here, LV output, and I can just go for write statement, LV output. Now we check it. Now we check it. I will go for run as ABAP application. Correct? Yes. Are you getting the correct result?
Yes.
So if you want to debug it, you can, let's put a breakpoint here, re-execute it. We are in the debugging zone. I will open the variables. So show view, my variable section. I want to see it here. So here I'm going to press F5. There now I am inside the SQL script code. You see, right? I am inside the SQL script code. I will execute this. There you see we are taking input 50 and 40. 90 is our output. 90 is our output. This 90 will be transferred into the LV. It will be transferred into the LV. So if you come out of it, here you check the global LV output is 90. This 90 is getting displayed. So F6, and there you are getting the result. So another benefit of this AMDP is, unlike CDS views, we can also debug the AMDP as they are class methods. As they are class methods. Very simple example we have taken today to explain this, right? So I will suggest everyone to start creating the AMDP. Example will be there. Code. Here is my code. So I have one assignment for you all. Assignment here.